All right, welcome back to Mimas. Starting out in the greenhouse here, and yes, I lucked out again, and it's morning. Okay, so we got a couple of crops of soybeans here. Oh, and I forgot to drop some stuff off that I'm not really gonna need here. All right, so there was a bit of problem with the soybeans, and I already fixed it, but I'll kind of show you what I did to do so. The nitrogen had started going below 1%, which was impacting the growth of the soybeans. So all I had to do is grab from our oxide processing area the nitrogen tank and just kind of release some out here. We'll just set that to 80. It'll release it all. So now, what do we do with all the soybeans we've got? One thing, we could cook them in either the microwave or the automated oven and get cooked soybean. Watch my percentages down here. So we're starting at 67 and it gives us 87. Now I'm going to use it again and take note that the other one completely disappeared. It should have given us 20%, and one would think that there would be leftovers we could eat later, but that's the problem with the first tier of cooked food and raw food, is that you you can't eat partials. If you recall early on, I'm going to start printing this. When we had canned food didn't have that problem. You could eat partial quantities. So what else can we do with these soybeans? Because they suck as a food. And the answer is this reagent processor. Okay, let's print a couple of those. I'm doing kind of prep for later as well. Whoops. Oh, I actually put the soybeans in there. So yeah. I'm going to print that. That's another Stirling Engine. We're going to create a second one of those. Okay, one more stairs. I'm going to be doing a few things at once here, just kind of swapping back and forth. But I'll try to keep the thread. Okay, so we have the soybeans in there. Turn this on, turn that on, and now we're getting soy oil. We take the soy oil. Oh, there was one more in there. Unfortunately, you can't manually stack these, but it doesn't matter because we're just going to jam them in there. Flick that off to preserve power. Okay, so now that we have soy oil, now we can make the canned mushrooms. And as we said, canned food, you can eat the partial stacks. Plus, we'll be able to get a higher tier of food. You can see these two pips here. That's when you're eating kind of mid-grade quality food. Just cooked, like the cooked soybeans I ate, the cooked mushrooms that I've been eating. But now that we have canned mushrooms, that'll bring it up to tier 3, and our maximum will raise to 125%. So there we go. I'm just going to let those process, and I'll pick them up later. Worry about them then. Okay, as we said, we're gonna place down another Stirling Engine. It's gonna need a couple of electronic parts. Just gonna watch this first one print and change it so it doesn't print more. Okay, we have our 2 stairs. I haven't been talking about these because that's a secondary project. So we're going to print a couple of one large direct heat exchanger. That one is for our main goal, which is getting water going. Okay, the stairs we'll take with us, the direct heat exchanger we'll take with us. Okay, so we need the steel sheets, which I think I have some in my inventory, and the electronic parts for the Stirling engine. Large direct heat exchanger, we're going to do the gas-to-gas variant. That'll need a pipe and one steel sheet. Good. Okay, I can leave that in my hand. Now for the secondary project, I'm going to go ahead and load these up and start printing some regular solar panels. We don't need the heavy variant of solar panels. The regular ones will work fine because we don't have to deal with storms on this planet. Now, second thing we're going to need is water filters, and I'm going to go ahead and print the heavy variant of those. Okay. I think we can now, yeah, we can switch these off. Alright, well that works. I loaded up enough materials to print exactly 2. So let's go in here. Someone had commented, and I verified, the gas-based radiator that we had in here was actually the one that's designed for vacuums. I don't know how I missed that. But yes, thank you, commenter. Thank you very much. I won't shout out your name because I'm not sure if you want me to like announce it, but either way, the new ones we have set up, these are the convection radiators, so all is well now. Okay, you can see I rearranged the cables. I colored the power cables yellow just to keep them separate. I brought in the purple to the logic because we now have IC controlling for our Stirling engine. I'll kind of go over that in a sec here. Placement's a little tricky since I have everything in there. There we go. So yeah, let's get this other Stirling engine set up. Oops, that way. And the electronics, which I didn't grab. Perfect. I need to grab another pipe also. There they are. Okay, I think I can turn this off as well. I probably don't need to necessarily worry that much about power, but you know what? Rather than going in there, let's just cheese it. Duck our head in through the wall. There we go. And we don't need to worry about turning it on because the IC controller will handle that. What it does is that it takes and it starts by changing the setting of this, not turning it on and off, because that makes an annoying clicking noise. But when it's at 0, it's not doing anything. So it will, when the power drops below 50%, which should happen actually soon, it will increase this and then kind of adjust it. It has the goal of getting approximately 6 kilowatts out of the Stirling engines each, not individually, or not combined. There we go. That's the word. But it probably won't since we added a second one in here. It'll end up cooling them down. But as a backup, it says, okay, is there, 5 megapascals in there? If there is, then okay, go ahead and just stop pumping in. So yep, that's the backup. And you can see that it's actually holding at 19.7 because they're switched off. So yeah, that's what it does, is that it pumps hot gas in there, kind of ramps up the amount in there until one of those conditions are met. Then it starts cooling, or lets the Stirling engines cool it down until it reaches just below 20 degrees, and then it will switch on this, or turn up the setting, to pump it into our base gas. And all the while, the condensation valves are grabbing the pollutant. I wonder, did I... Okay, Yeah, I had a whoopsie where I had some carbon dioxide in there, so I ended up voiding a whole bunch of pollutants. Okay, I think I might go over the IC later if I have time, essentially. But let's get on with our main task here, which is to set up the H2 Combustor, which were provided in this H2 Combustor supplies package. We have an atmospherics, and scroll down to there, and there it is, atmospherics. Let's grab some more goodies from here. We have more pipes, which I needed for the large direct heat exchanger, so good. Then we have a valve. The valve is so that you can put up a condensation valve leading into your pipe network. We're not going to leave this open because that the steam, not water, that comes out of the H2 combustor is going to be super, super hot, and we don't want that to leak into our pipe network. So right now, that's going to be manual. I'll figure something out on that later. It also gives us liquid pipe radiators. You can do the radiator or the convection. It's really similar to the mediums we have, but we're not going to use that. Not yet, at least. There's the pipe variant with the same things, convection and regular, but we're not going to use those either. And the last thing is pressure regulators, which we're not going to use right now. Okay, I can't remember if I'd gone over how this works. We have cleared my throat there, sorry. Okay, I'm back. So when this is turned on, if I turn this on, it will pressurize the gas in the pipe and try and get 70 megapascals. I think I went over that before. Alternatively, if we know we want fuel mix, I can just turn that on and it will put up to 16 megapascals of fuel in this line. So that's what we're going to use to control the production of fuel in here. I haven't created an IC script for the H2 combustor yet, but when I do, if the pressure gets too low in this pipe, I'll have it turn this on, because these are all connected to the same network. Oh, yeah, over here. The wire comes through here, goes over here, all the way down to here. You can see that one there is a T-junction, and then it splits off to the two different directions. Okay, so this filtration unit will come after the H2 combustor. It will grab the hot gas that comes out of there. Some of it will be water, but then some of it will be, various other ingredients: carbon dioxide, pollutant, a little bit of volatiles, and some oxygen, because it's not 100%. It doesn't process all the fuel. And then this line will be exclusively steam. Or I think it filters liquid water also, if there's any of that in the pipe. We'll go ahead and turn this on because we want it to start processing when I set it up. Let me make sure I've got everything. I think so. Okay, that's still printing solar panels. Good. Okay, stairs. I'm going to place some stairs right about, I think it's going to be right here. And then the next tier up will be here. And I'll do both side railing for this one. But that's a future project. If I have time on this episode, I'll do it, but no guarantees. I actually did a recording of this, but things were going wonky, and I'm just like, well, okay, rather than making an edited video, I'm just gonna bail, load, and try again. Okay, so we need cables and a screwdriver for the next build state. Okay, so yep, fuel in this side, water and other stuff on this side. We're gonna turn this up to 10. And I'm gonna turn this on and look right here, and you can and kind of explain what's going on. So turn it on, and you can see right away it did 16 moles, and now it's going down. It's kind of a twofold problem. It works on pressure differentials. So if there's more pressure on the input pipe and less pressure on the output pipe, it will work more effectively. So let's go ahead and switch this on again. It starts off a little strong, but then starts going down again, which is fine. We're just going to run a bit through here to get it running, get a good first run, and then off screen I'll create some IC scripts for both the filtration unit and the H2 combustor. But it'll be a lot easier if I have this set up. So if we look at this, you can see that it actually internally has some of the gases. Yep, so as we said, CO2 and pollutant, very large amounts, a little bit of O2 and volatiles, and some water and steam. Go and turn this off, and unfortunately, it's going to keep that in there, and it's going to be cooling down, which is unfortunate, but right now I'm not going to worry about it. Might end up breaking this pipe. We'll just kind of hope not. Okay, so this is just kind of a temporary storage so that the filtration unit can process it. This is our main goal, which is the water. You can see it's really darn hot. This pipe here, you can see it's already got a ton of pressure in there. That's because this is actually our furnace gas and the output from the GFG. And I'll probably put a volume pump right here because the filtration units, as I said, also work on the pressure differential system. The water one I'll probably never have too much in there, maybe a megapascal's worth. But this pipe will, that'll probably always have a really high pressure. Okay, so we're going to come over here. Now, our goal here is that we want to take that hot steam and cool it down to a usable temperature. Rather than sending it through the Stirling engines, I'm going to instead use a large direct heat exchanger, the gas variant. Okay, I must need, a wrench? Yep, there we go. Okay. Alright, let's link this up. So this pipe here, this is the ones that's in the Stirling engine loop. So we're gonna splice in. I think right here will do. Splice into that. Put it into this side. It's not exchanging anything because, well, there's nothing to exchange as of yet. Then we're going to bring this down here. I think I'm going to bring it over here just in case I need another pipe between. I can't think of anything that it would be, but just in case. And yes, one lonely frame out here because the large direct heat exchanger needs a frame for support. Okay, now let's take a look at what we've done here. So it's not cooling down just yet. because the Stirling engines probably aren't on. I might have to create a way to manually let those run. But that's pretty much the setup here. Right now that's manual. The filter and the H2 Combustor are manual, but like I said, I'm gonna create a script off screen for handling that. Two scripts probably. Oh, something caught my eye. I bet it was the mushrooms, the packaging machine. Oh, let's make sure we didn't do a whoopsie. We didn't. Good. Occasionally there can be some pollutants in this line because it grabs the output gas here, which might or the Stirling engine loop. It pumps it straight in there, and then it just hopes that it pressure or liquefies all the pollutants. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it on that front. Now we're just gonna have to let it run. How is our power doing? Eh, it's got to be close to 50%. Oh, actually, I forgot I have a way of checking. Oh no, okay, it probably ran somewhat recently. One of the features of the IC script that I have here is that if you mouse over the housing, it shows you the ratio of the batteries, how full it is, and you can see it's above 72% there. When the Stirling engines are on, kind of when it gets to that stage, it actually switches and starts displaying the total amount of power that it's making. Because we can't easily, without going to the side of the battery here and ducking our head in the wall, we can't see how much it's producing. So I wanted some feedback on that. Okay, how is this doing? You can see where this is running really slow because there's no pressure differential bonus. Because it's low-ish pressure on this side, high pressure on this side. It's either one of them, the output or the output 2, or the unfiltered gas for output 2. So that's why we probably want to have a volume pump on at least this pipe, maybe on this one, but we probably don't want very high pressures on the water line. Otherwise, it'll take forever for it to cool down. Okay, I'm actually doing pretty good on time here. So let's grab the materials we need for our secondary project. And we can drop off these pipes. Oh, I just noticed I did a whoopsie. We're gonna go in here. I have a Stirling engine gas canister here. I labeled it myself. That used to be the propellant. Yeah, I forgot to load that into here. So that wasn't doing anything, or if it was doing something, it wasn't very much. And we can turn that back off. And we're going to go back outside. So now we're going to set down some solar panels, and I think I've mentioned in the past, solar panels don't produce very much here. But we're going to do it anyway because it's free power and I have lots of resources at the moment. Oh boy. The walkway here, it would make more sense to me to have it oriented this way, but I want to have them oriented kind of all the same way, so I'm going to use this variant. There we go. And we're going to place down the solar panel duos. If I remember right, the old ones, have the cable, yeah, the cable on that side. So we're gonna just merge this into the same network. That way. There we go. And of course I'll do more off screen. Let's get some railing out here. I like the look of that one for this kind of area. Plus it looks better in conjunction with the stair railing, because the stair railing doesn't, another good one would be this one, but it doesn't have that separated look which the stair railing does. There we go. Future expansion necessary. Oh, nope. That's just 1. That's not going to help us much. That's just 9. But it'll at least kind of get the ball rolling. And while I was in there, I should have grabbed...
Waste tank caution.
Grab those. I'll release the waste tank gas when we get back into the base. I might use a T-junction there in the future, we'll see. Now, as far as stairs go, I did contemplating putting a stairwell here. I'll show one of those in the future for those who haven't seen them. But the stairwell would prevent me from putting walls on the outside here, which I eventually will want to do. And yes, I should have set the cables down before setting the panels, because it's annoying to try and get in there. 2 and 3, then we'll place a junction. And the humor isn't lost on me. Hey, let's put a railing out here so that we don't have to use our jetpack, and then I use my jetpack. For now, we're just going to bring it straight on over. Yeah, I think I will move that one and bring it down here.
Hydration critical.
Because we can do a corner right there. Okay. So now let's get these linked in. So if we can't really see them. Kind of the outline of them a little bit there. As soon as we connect this up, you can see. At least I hope so. Whoa. Ah. Because I connected it to the wrong Jigma thingy. That's why. There we go. So now you can see that they're moving. All right. And the next set of them will go up here, which is why we have that other set of stairs there. The actual first row of them, I'm going to place some frames down here, and we'll place them down here. Now, what I'm doing here is that I'm staggering them. I'm going to make basically an ever-escalating line of them going up, so that there's nothing directly above them except these floor gratings, because the first set, or maybe the second, I might put a second down further, will be right below this, but shouldn't matter too much. But yeah, basically I'm going to have in one, up one, in one, up one, in one, up one, and we'll do, a few of them. I will at some point have to stop because I think there is a little bit of a performance hit with these. And eventually I'll need to upgrade this cable. I did some quick napkin math, and I figured out that 50 of them would be plenty fine, because kind of the most I had seen was 69, maybe 70 watts of power per, and those basic cables can do 5,000. So we're still good, even with easily with 50. Could could get close to 100, but can't get quite there because it's 69, not 50. Okay, I think that's going to call it for this episode. I will work on the scripts. I didn't have time to go over the Stirling generator script. I'll try to fit that in at some point. The basics of it are that if the power drops below 50%, it switches on the pump, brings in gas. It checks the power production of the Stirling engine. It tries to set the production to 6,000, but if it doesn't reach 6,000 before it ends up having 5 megapascals in the pipe, it will proceed. So it has kind of two conditions: either 6,000 watts or 5 megapascals. Then once the product is cooled down to below 20 degrees, then it switches on, or it switches off the Stirling generators. Then it switches on the volume pump that's right down here, brings it into the base. Okay, well, we'll see you next episode. Have a good one.